Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone? Gonna wait for a notification to go out so everyone knows I'm live. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Wednesday. It is 56 degrees here. It is sunny, it is windy, and it's supposed to get up to 65. Good morning, Geneva. Good morning, Maggie. It's just been a really unusual February for Ohio. And I am not complaining. I've been able to get a lot more done in February than I normally would because freezing temperatures and I do not get along. Good morning, Mary. Good morning, Feeding My Soul. Good morning, Kathy. Good morning, everyone. I'll just pop you guys up one at a time so everybody sees. So how many people, just give me a thumbs up if you are actually doing an altered book. I'm interested in, I know, Geneva, because Texas has gotten the winter we would normally have, apparently. So how many are doing the altered book? Me. I'll give my thumbs up. Drinking out of my Hope mug this morning. This one was gifted to me by Bridget, the Baker's Daughters, LLC, and I love it. Great. Mary's doing it. Feeding My Soul's doing it. She's doing it in a different country because we are international here. Geneva's doing it. Kathy, all of that is so scary, and thankfully I'm not anywhere near it, but that's just, it's frightening. And it's frightening. No, I'm not going to comment because it's negative. And we're not going to talk about that. This is a happy space. Okay, so far everybody's doing it. Has anybody else lost momentum? There, Geneva lost momentum. She's a little bit behind. I never did the watercolor page. I've done every other one, but like this last one, let me tell you, I had this whole idea. I wanted a literal window that you could see through. So the window frame around my hole. And then I wanted to find a cozy scene of like a shelf of books and then a comfy chair and then maybe a cat, a cup of tea. And I wanted to put that behind my page that I had cut out so you could see that through the cutout. No, that is not what I did. That is not what I will show you guys what I did. I did the simplest thing. And also, let's talk about today any struggles you're having and maybe we can brainstorm solutions because my book is over 100 years old. We all know that. And trying to cut this out. Now, my little razor that I cut with, it's one of the little it's like a pencil that's got a razor on the end. I was cutting through this paper because it's over 100 years old. It's got a cloth quality to it, and it did not want to cut. And I struggled. So my edges are rough. So I was disappointed in that. And I know that my razor isn't dull because it cut through like 4 sheets of regular paper, and I was only trying to cut through the first sheet. So it's this paper. So I am struggling with my book being so old. That's one of my struggles. But here's what I did. So what I cut out was the poem part that would have been on this side. So like, it's not terrible. It is the most basic, simple cutout you could do. And then over here, because of the way it cut out, then you've got this little bit of words right there. So this is going to be a page that I will, maybe this will be the page that I eventually watercolor in. So this is what it was the simplest. Also, I have been super, super, super busy packing and invoicing and getting all of the items out from my clearance sale. So all of my energy has been going toward that. And I'm behind a little, but I hope I've communicated with everybody. If you haven't heard from me, then please let me know. But I do have one person who hasn't paid an invoice. And then I have a couple, I ran out of packing paper. I had ordered bubble wrap, thought I was good to go. I needed bigger boxes than I thought I would because of the amount of things that people got. I was able to get them from my brother on Monday. When I went to the post office, I had texted him and he's like, sure, I save boxes, come by. So I got a whole stack of boxes from him. But then as I'm packing up Monday night, I ran out of packing paper. So I got up early yesterday morning. I was going to head out and get the packing paper and get more things packed up. And I had a massive chronic fatigue flare up. Spent the day in bed. So that's what happens sometimes. Yeah, I definitely need to do more to it. But I am happy with the part that it did frame out, because one of the reasons I picked this book is because I love the illustrations in them. I just thought they were so beautiful. So it's the most basic of things, but I did it. And I saved the piece because I might do something else with this. We'll see. So all that being said, I am not going to do a sale today because I do not want to, I don't want to sell more things until I have finished catching up, because I've got lots and lots of notes. I know everybody that I've got, it's all clear. So I'm trying not to screw anything up with my brain fog. Oh, and last week, you guys, when I was talking about the Roy who made it to 1,000, it was not Dust Not Included. It was Horizon Picks. That's the problem with learning people's first names and then forgetting their YouTube names. So Horizon Picks, my friend Roy, also another Roy. I love both Roys. They're great. But he reached 1,000 subscribers and he had a really fun celebration last week about it. But the brain fog is real. Hi, Kaz. If you guys watched my haul video from this last weekend, I think I posted it Sunday. I found some amazing stuff. My niece had bought me some things, but I forgot to show you something that I got myself. I totally forgot about it. I started collecting little pewter figurines like in the 90s, but they were so expensive to me as a single person with, a very low paying job, that I didn't collect a lot. And I never collected a wizard because the wizards were far more expensive. So I have some cats and some things. They're packed away right now. They're in my storage unit. But I found this guy at the flea market. Now, he had old glue here, which I was able to get off relatively easy. I was worried it would stick because he would have had like a crystal ball. Now, I have these teeny tiny marbles. So I just have to decide on which one. And then he's going to get a new crystal ball. And I don't know if he should have, I don't kind of like the bigger one, even though it's not really, like it's too big for, I don't know, but it's the clearest. So I forgot to show this guy off. He's very heavy. It's my first wizard. I have dragons. I have some small dragons, pewter dragons. But since it was a tiny collection, it's one I've been able to add to it, like garage sales and stuff over the years. So I was able to keep that through having children. Okay, so before I draw, I'll see if anybody else is going to filter in before I draw. But I wanted to show you, since they were on the other side of the room last week, this is the small cutting mat that I got from Dollar Tree. Now for bigger projects, I do think I want a bigger one eventually. I think that might go on my birthday list, but this one is perfect to fit in between the pages of the book because this is my size of book. So pretty pleased with that. And they had not had these the last time I had been in there. So picked up the cutting mat just in time, and it's a pretty flexible one. So, I mean, you know, it won't last forever because it came from the Dollar Tree, but for the little bit of cutting that I'm currently doing, it's going to be perfect. And then here is my problem with the Mod Podge is that it's such a big container and then you waste half of it. But Dollar Tree had little containers, which is perfect for me who barely crafts. Ooh, Kathy, I think I've sold at least one pewter brooch. I don't know why I like pewter. I just do. Maybe it's because I was a young person in the 90s. So got this tiny little thing of Mod Podge because we will need that for a future project. And then I got this little craft glue to try out. I had picked up, I wonder if I've got it. Oh no, it's still across the room. I had picked up some Elmer's craft glue, but it works like if I wanted to put lace in a book or something, it'll work well with that, but it does not work well with paper. So I'm going to try this and see if this works well with paper. So I picked that up too. So I had picked up a couple of things last week. I talked about them, but I hadn't shown them to you. I think I've still got, yeah, look, leftover. I don't know if it's still good anymore, but I've got Elmer's glue left over from when the kids were in school. I do have a little bit of rubber cement. Not sure if it's even works anymore. We used to have a whole room of craft supplies because all of my kids were artistic. All of my kids did crafty things. Well, my oldest not so much as my younger two, but we had a whole room. Our dining room was had bookcases around the entire dining room, and we'd eat in there, but we'd also do crafts, we'd do games, we'd do puzzles. So it was set up to be very usable for a mom with 3 kids. Okay, let's see how many people we have in here now. 13. Oh, I meant to grab my mom's book again and show you her wedding dress page, but I forgot again to get it from her. Ah, coffee. So are we ready to draw? Okay, let's see what we got today. Black out words to make a sentence or saying. This is a really simple one. This is probably the one that I needed last week since I had so much other stuff going on. Let me see if I can find, if you remember, this is my daughter's altered book from junior high. But I know for a fact that she did a page like that in here. The other thing, the other obstacle I've come across is I really struggled with getting over altering the book. Like my upbringing of we never do any damage to a book was so strong that I struggled at getting started on this project. I'm not going to lie. Okay, so here's hers. So not only did she block out the words that she didn't want to be seen, but then she also outlined and read the whole thing. So that's an example. And hers says, I have to be you. He stomachs change. Even T French or British agents smile so lovely. So, and I think this one's gonna be hard for me because mine's a poem and I don't get a lot of words, so this is all the amount of words I have to work with. Unless I think there's some forward pages. Let's see here in the beginning. Oh yeah, there's some introductory pages. So I might be able to come up with something. I get more words there. So, but this is a fun one and a pretty simple one. So you could do as much or as little to the page as you want. You could simply black out the words, or you can do like my daughter did and put a background in, or you can add stickers or things that would go along with your sentence. Like if your sentence is just, I love you, then you could stick some hearts in there. So fun. Whew. So does anybody have any questions about the project? Like anything that's come up that maybe we could brainstorm and help you with? Sorry, guys, having a hot flash. Having a hot flash. Oh, you guys, look, I got to show you these. My mom and dad got me she always does a little something for me on Valentine's Day because I have been single for going on 6 years now. And so usually it's just a tiny little, the tiny little heart box of candy with like 4 pieces in it, the Russell Stover, which is just cute. But, I am doing Whole30. And actually yesterday was the official 30 days where then you can start to add food back in, except I'm not, because we're rebuilding the body and the health. But she got me these earrings, so sparkly. She's like, these will look good when you're on camera. I love them so much. So that's what she and dad got me for Valentine's Day. And then my daughter sent me a card and, FaceTime me like 6 times. But I was okay. There are some Valentine's Day where I'm sad that I'm alone, but not been sad this year that I'm alone. I'm like, ooh, I want to focus on me and I want to deal with someone else. I don't need a man, baby. I did not look that up. Janie's journal. Is she on YouTube? I'm sure I made a note about it and then just didn't get it looked up. I'll make another note. I'm a little distracted. And did you guys, if you did not see my haul video on Sunday, I got this book just because it's fun. And it was also put out in the year I was born. So this year it's 50 years old. So I think we'll bring new purpose to this book. So I don't have any ideas yet. I just loved the color. Look, it's pink. Oh, I love it, love it, love it. Okay, yeah, I'm going to look that up, Kathy. And then look at the inside page. It's purple. This book belonged to Bertha. This was her book. And I don't know, I might read it first. It's a religious romance. I love that. And I knew, because, my dad's a preacher, so I grew up in a very, very Christian Baptist home. So I saw Beacon Hill Press and I'm like, wait a second, before I even saw the religious romance, I'm like, Beacon Hill Press, they produce Christian books. So, and there's no moldy smell. I mean, there's a little, you can see some damage there on the cover, but no moldy smell. But I was excited about this. So I will be altering this book at some point in the future. Just because it's pretty. And maybe if this book keeps failing me because it's so old, maybe I'll switch. Who knows? Yes. yes to two things. Yes to heck with men. And yes, there is a prompt in the bowl about decorating the cover. And I'm hoping that the prompt actually comes later because my daughter discovered hers. She did this pretty early on. And then look how many, a lot of these bits fell off as she carried it back and forth to school. So I'm worried that if we decorate our covers too soon, they'll wear off as we're doing it this year. So I'm hoping that prompt comes later, but you know, it's in the bowl. So when it comes, it comes. There's a prompt for it. Most definitely. My daughter made her boyfriend chocolate covered strawberries. She FaceTimed me to show me them. She also cooked a mistake dinner. They did not go out for Valentine's Day. So she cooked a mistake dinner. She baked him a heart-shaped cake. She had decorated. She dressed up in a pink dress and looked gorgeous. So, and he got her regular roses, and then he got her the roses that have the fiber optics in it. So after her regular roses die, she'll still have roses. He bought her a bunch of self-care stuff, face mask and body butter kind of stuff, and a new blush brush that has like candy sprinkles on the inside. So I tell you what, you guys, her ex-boyfriend before, he was a piece of work, but this guy, like, he gets her. He's a little immature, but like most young men his age, like his brain hasn't even fully developed yet. He gets her. He thinks about her. He puts her he knows what she likes. He knows her favorite color. He knows the products that she used. Her last boyfriend couldn't be bothered. Couldn't be bothered. He would do the exact opposite of what she wanted. And sometimes it felt like he was doing it on purpose just to make her angry. Like it was not loving. This guy is wonderful so far. I'm holding judgment. We will see. Hey, Barbie, I did not make it out to get my hair cut. I had told Barbie yesterday I was headed to get my hair cut, and no, chronic fatigue slammed into me, and I had to go back to bed. But I did read my book for my book club. I have a book club with my niece and some other people. So I got my book read. Yay, go me. Oh, good, Meg. That makes me happy. Nothing's broken. I always get nervous when I'm packing that many items that things are going to be broken. So I'm just like stressed out all week long, waiting for people to get their boxes and me to get an email going, oh, this is broken. So thanks everybody for being here. Here's our prompt if you needed the prompt. Black out words to make a sentence or saying. And then you can decorate the page as much or as little as you want. So there's that. And then for those of you that just got in here and didn't see, I will show you, last week's prompt was a cutout page. I don't think I've read any Grace Livingston Hill, but I do recognize the name. So, so I did the most basic of this assignment that you could do. I cut out the poem that was on this page to show the picture underneath. That's what I did. So that was last week's prompt. I did save this poem piece to maybe use in something in a future project, but it was a very basic. That's what I did. And if you're not sure what the Altar Book Project is, I have a whole video about it. It's a project that you can pop in and do whenever you want. It is completely low stress, and we're trying to keep it very inexpensive. See, if I had wanted to spend money, I could have popped over to Joann Fabric or Hobby Lobby. I could have found stickers that would have done what I wanted, like the cozy chair to read in, the bookcase behind, the kitty cat, the cup of tea. And I could have found a window sticker, I am sure. And I could have, but I didn't, number one, have the money. And number two, I didn't have the time. So didn't get to do the cutout page I wanted, but I don't think this will be, I'm loving this project. So I doubt very much this will be my last altered book project. So maybe in the next one, I will be able to do the whole cozy thing. If you guys do not follow me on TikTok, or on not TikTok, on Instagram, although TikTok I do, I have an account, I haven't put anything on there yet. I will be sometime this year doing that. But if you remember back in December, I had done my advent calendar from Coffee and Tea Junkie. And they had said they were going to send me something because I was tagging them in the posts and I was hashtagging their caffeinated kindness and hey Delbert. And so they had said they were going to send me something free back in December. Didn't send me anything, didn't send me anything. And then I got a message from them saying, what is your home address? So I gave my address and then didn't get anything, took forever. They finally sent me something last week. It was so fun because it was totally unexpected by then, but they sent me one of my favorite coffees. It's now I can't remember, bourbon pecan something. And mom made it for her and dad and I the next morning. And she's like, I don't think I'm going to like this. And dad's like, oh, I'm going to love it. Mom loved it. Dad hated it. Go figure. But we had the coffee and then they sent me 2 of their loose teas. The one I tried so far it's got berries and chamomile in it. Completely lovely and wonderful. I drank the second half of it last night before bed. And then the other one is one that has caffeine. I haven't tried that one yet. But they also sent me a coffee scented candle. Now, normally things set off my asthma and I can't smell them, but oh, you guys, now I can't burn it because I think burning it might set off my asthma. So I'm not going to risk it, but I will be doing this as a giveaway. And I'll tell you when I'm going to do it as a giveaway. So, not next week, but the week after, the last week of February, I will be doing my last clearance sales. So the 28th, Tuesday night, 6 p.m., one person, and if you purchase, you're going to go into a bucket. I will pull a name. One person will get this wonderful, wonderful coffee smelling candle. So I do have a giveaway for my very last clearance sale. Now, next week, I will have a Tuesday night sale, but I'm going to be on Hey Lynn Vintage's channel. And if you guys have not followed her, man, don't be sleeping on her. She did a barware, a 1950s barware sale last night. Oh, I loved it. I loved everything she had in the sale. I can't fit another single thing into my kitchen, but she had the most beautiful stuff. She has good glass. So if you're a glass lover, she has, I mean, she has other stuff too. But she has good glass and she started on Instagram. So her YouTube sales, there's not a ton of people in them. They're at 5 p.m. on Tuesday evenings, 5 p.m. Eastern. You have the opportunity to get these items without having to fight with other people to get them. They're wonderful. So Hey Lynn Vintage, I will be on next Tuesday, 5 p.m. Eastern with her and Mary from Ancestral Beginnings. It's going to be super fun to hang out with them. So I will be holding my last clearance sale until the end of the month. That way you're not going to be billed until the beginning of March. So whatever I cannot squeeze into the Tuesday night and then probably the Wednesday morning, I'm just going to donate at that point. I'm just going to be done with it and move into March with all of that out of here. It already feels so much better to have so much of this stuff gone. You guys have been fantastic. But that's what I'm going to do my last, the 28th. And then the next morning, if I've got anything left over, but the 28th, I will be doing a giveaway of this gorgeous coffee smelling candle. Okay, let's see what I missed in the chat. Yes, Cricut. I bought way back when I first started doing this, I bought my poodle Wade Whimsy from Cricut. And I had to fight people to get that. It's when it was in the summer, so she was on the lake when she's, I don't know if you guys have seen her sails where she's doing the sails outside. Love that because you can see the lake behind her and the wind. You can hear the birds occasionally. But she had a little Wade Whimsy poodle, and I had to, because I was first in for the poodle set, but somebody else had misunderstood the directions, and she's reading there, and I'm like, no, 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 poodle, me. But I got my poodle Wade Whimsy. Yeah, I had not planned to do a sale last night, Kaz, because I wanted to get caught up since it doesn't matter how much you plan to have all the materials. You think you've got enough bubble wrap, you think you've got enough paper, you think you've got the right boxes. You never do. And when you've got a small space and you don't have an entire room for packing materials, yeah. So first I'd run out of bubble wrap and I'd ordered more and it came in. And then I didn't have big enough boxes for a couple of the things. So I had to email people. And then I ran out of packing paper to finish up the box. So if you're just coming in, I'm not doing a sale this morning. We're just chatting because after this, I'm going straight to Menards to get packing paper. So if you still, I know there were a few people who had wanted me to hold boxes until my clearance sales were over. So I'm still doing that, but oh, good, Kaz. So there are some people who are still waiting on a box. I think that I emailed everybody to let them know, but if I didn't email you, you will get your invoice by the end of the week. I love that I can get emergency packing supplies at Menards. I do not like that the store is so big and it wears me out just to walk over to the packing supplies and then back to the register. Other than that, I like Menards. And now that song is going to be stuck in my head all day. Thank you, Delbert. All right. Does anybody have any questions? And if you guys have missed Glass with Class on Mondays, we did this past Monday, we did a whole glass vocabulary, which was really informative and I learned new stuff. No, I'm not near the train wreck. Are you, Delbert? That's all scary. All that info that's coming out of there is scary. And I'm hoping these winds today are not blowing any of that this way. When my daughter FaceTimed me this morning, she's never had allergies. She never had allergies as a child. She had not had allergies up till, and she had her windows open because it's warm and she wanted to air out and West Coast. And she was sneezing and sneezing and sneezing while she was on the phone with me. And I'm like, so we'll see when I head out there today. But hopefully this wind will just blow everything through and disperse everything and people will be better because that's just awful. Awful, awful. Now I lost my train of thought. Get it? That's bad though. Oh, I don't know what I was talking about. Oh, I was talking about Glass with Class. So once a month, we are going to like answer your glass questions and talk about definitions of glass. So there's a lot, we covered a lot more than we normally would because we both had a whole list of things to cover. So if you missed it, go back and watch like the first 40 minutes. I think we were talking about glass definitions with a lot of good info. You know, like we call any glass that shades from orange to red or yellow to orange amberina, but by definition, it's not actually. So we talk about that. So we talk about the difference between swung and stretch glass, and there's a lot of good info there. But we're going to do that once a month. So if you have questions, and I did get an email already, saw it this morning, haven't answered it yet, but I will add that to next month's info. So, you know, we're more than happy to answer questions and do the research for you because Nikki and I are both total nerds who love to research. We love to learn new things. And every time I do one of these, I learn new things every single time. So that's something that if you have glass questions and you're just not sure how to identify things, or if you're not sure, we talked about the bone vases versus the Jack in the Pulpit vases, which I didn't even know about bone vases. And I'd seen them, but I had no idea what they were called. That was super cool. So I learned new things. So if you have questions, you can email them to Nikki or I, and we're going to answer them for you, or we're going to do our best to do the research. So we've got that going on with Glass with Class. Next week, we'll be talking about New Martinsville glass and rainbow glass and how they were both sucked up by Viking glass. So that'll be a good one. I know they say the chemicals dissipated in the air, but the amount of people that are sick right now with sore throats, breathing issues, I don't think they've dissipated. But hopefully this wind that has come through the whole state today with the high wind, I'm hoping that it's just going to get rid of the rest. And just the, no, I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not, because I'm angry. I'm not going to talk about it. As someone who has severe allergies, just normally having to leave the house every day is a stress. I'm not going to talk about it because it makes me angry. All right, you guys. If nobody's got any more questions about the altered book project and our prompt for this week, or any of my upcoming sales, if you got any questions, let me know. But otherwise, I think I'm going to get going since I've got to go. Yeah, Kathy, that's going to cause problems for growing season. And see, it makes me mad. But I think I'm going to get going since I've got to go to Menards and get packing paper. So if you were still waiting on an invoice from me, I've got everything here. I know one of you was interested in pink glass, but some of the pieces had sold before I'd gotten that email. So I will be pulling other pink glass, sending you a picture. Yeah, Kaz, it's scary. So I will be finishing up. If you have not gotten an invoice from me in the last 2 weeks because you had purchased items from the clearance sales, I will have all of that caught up this week. Yesterday, my body just said full stop, and you're not going to. I had already showered and was ready to head out the door, and chronic fatigue flared up. And when chronic fatigue flares up, your arms feel like they weigh 100 pounds each. You can't even keep your eyes open. It's unsafe for me to drive. So it was a rest day I had not planned on. But I did get my book read for my book club. So I accomplished something while laying around. Oh, all right, you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'm sorry that there is no sale today, but I don't want to sell more stuff until I have caught up everybody's boxes. So if you have not been invoiced yet, be looking for an invoice from me in the next few days. I will be getting that out. And I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for giving me a thumbs up. And thank you for hanging out with me. No, I was on Tigers already this month. So I am not on Tigers tomorrow. I am only on Tigers the second Thursday of every month. And we'll do March, we'll do April, and then Tiger will be in Germany. So I don't know that we will do May. But definitely March and April, second Thursday of March, second Thursday of April, I will be on Tigers. Yes, me too. Me too. All right, you guys, have a great day. Thanks, Mary. You too. And I will see you guys in the chats. and I will see you back here next week. Bye.